Bro.
Hi, this is Justin Roberts, and you are listening to 3 Count Thursday. Hope you enjoy.
A little bit of the bubbly.
I did it for The Rock. Give me what I want! Everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable. Mamma mia!
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. 3 Count Thursday, live here on Thursday, June the 4th, 2020. We're glad to be back with you. We are the podcast of the millennium. We got tons to talk about this week, including pay-per-view predictions, a real-life work, and stars on the move. But make sure you head over to 3countthursday.com. That's our homepage. You can find our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver.
Thank you, Tim. You can find all of our social media links, our YouTube channel. Matt's got a lot of great content up there with some Mad Libs. So you want to head over to our YouTube page, tinyurl.com/3CT YouTube. Make sure you check out our home network, NGSC Sports, at ngscsports.com. Also, we stream daily at leibsports.com. Ryan is not with us, so that's
LEEIB sports.com.
Thank you, Tim, for picking up the slack. Ryan taking a week off. He's taking a weekend down at the beach. Hopefully, he is social distancing at the beach as much as possible. And we hope you have a good weekend, Ryan. We'll talk to you next week. I did get his predictions for the NXT takeover, so I will not be without those. And we will we'll get to those here in just a second. Let's how you guys doing? Intern Mark with us, Tim back with us here this week, and of course Matt. Matt, how you doing?
No complaints. Fortunately, I'm pretty blessed on that, but there is a lot going on that people should be speaking up and complaining about. So I'm just trying to do what I can, which, probably isn't much in the grand scheme of things, but every little bit that I can do, I will. Just so that.
Absolutely. Tim, how are you doing this week, bud? Tim, I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
I hard muted myself because I had a giant dog barking in the background.
Oh, gotcha.
Kind of piggybacking off what Matt was saying, with things going on. Life could always be a little bit better, but we do what we must because we can, and we just gotta keep on and be better across the board.
Absolutely. We can absolutely do that. Intern Mark, how you doing this week, buddy?
I am great. I'm chugging along, living life and loving life. I'm good, real good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you can be with us. Scotty joining us here in the live chat. If you are following along with us on the live video, give us a like and share on the video. We'd appreciate that.
How are you, Big Jim?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I mean, obviously, same thing as you guys said. It's been a it's been a heavy week for everybody. And I know whatever you can do, we can all be better. I echo the sentiments of Matt Shirt, Tim, your sign. Obviously, we put up the post last night. It's been more of a quiet week, social media wise, for us. And I think it's been a time of self-reflection, and and just looking at everything and the world today, and I mean it's the last couple of months have been hard on everybody, and I saw a post today, and or yesterday I saw a lot of people, and a lot of people have said how like 2020 is like an awful year. 2020 is canceled, but the idea behind the post is like maybe this is the year, with everything that's gone on and everything that's currently going on. Maybe this is the year that things change, and things actually change for the better, and we all learn to be better, and we all start treating each other better, and we all start treating each other equally, and things like that. So maybe instead of 2020 being terrible, which is really an easy way to look at it with everything that's gone on since early March here in the US. But if you look at it from a different perspective, if we all start being better, and we all start caring about each other, and we all start treating each other as equals, as we all are equal, then maybe this year is the start of something better. And I think that's a good point of perspective that I hope that everybody can take out of this, that we can, that what's behind is behind, and if you start being better, and we start getting better, and we treat people better, maybe this is the year for that. All right, let's jump into it, and I don't think tonight's going to be a 2-hour show. Charlie says he can't stay long. Stay with us as long as you can, bud. We appreciate it. We got a question here. Where's the intern Mark 90-day fiance show? When is that being put? Did that get posted yet? Is that
Sunday? Sunday's the plan.
We're keeping the people waiting.
Do it, yeah. There were 2 hours and 30 minutes for me to go through. So
wow.
We're doing some light editing, but that'll be up there. It's a good show. I don't watch the show at all, and I was interested. So a hell of a job you did, Mark. You and Ariella and Gypsy. It was a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Lou says it's good to see Tim. It is good to see Tim. And we have a hello and good evening from California. So good evening wherever you are. Let's jump into it here, guys. We got a takeover this weekend, and the vintage treatment that they're giving this between merchandising. Oh, hold on.
Merchandising.
Between the merchandise, the video the NXT page posted today with the old Raw theme, and the name itself, and hopefully, I'm still holding out hope, either for the vintage set or something that, a modernized take on the original In Your House set. I'm still hoping.
I might have missed it.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell on myself.
Okay.
Haven't really watched any wrestling that's recent in the last like 6 weeks.
Okay.
But where is the NXT takeover going to be this weekend?
Well, I don't know. Have they? This is maybe a poor job by me being the host of the show. Has NXT been doing shows at the PC, or have they been doing shows at Full Sail in the empty building?
Oh, no. That's not what I was asking. That was the use to sell. Oh, NXT takeover is in your house.
Oh man, I'm an idiot.
Come on. Everybody knows it's at the PC.
I'm a dumbass. I can't. And the worst part is I can't even find the dumbass sounder. Oh, here it is.
Dumbass.
Thank you.
That's
all
me.
Right, let's try that again. Let's rewind that. We're going to take that back. Ready?
Okay. Yeah, Tim, you have a question?
I haven't watched wrestling in like 6 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Trying times, got a lot on my mind.
Sure.
Where is the NXT takeover going to be this weekend?
Oh, that would be in your house.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I think I can make that one.
Yes.
I think I can make that one.
Awesome. See, I knew I wouldn't miss the cue. It is this Sunday on the award-winning WWE Network at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And now the free network that has been long rumored has finally launched. However, I did see that they no longer offer the first month free upon new subscribers.
Good.
Yeah. So you can
Stop
watch
it.
you can watch a lot of content except for live and current pay-per-views. So if you want those, you got to pony up. Still $9.99. They haven't upped that.
That's fine.
They haven't upped that yet. So but yeah, you can
You
if you
know,
can,
like what's included then in the free version? Is it just like the old stuff, old Raws, old pay-per-views?
I think it's Raws, SmackDowns, NXTs, and like the other live content. So like Table of Threes there, or Table for Threes there, Ride Along, Ms. and Mrs., Total Bellas, Total Divas, like that sort of stuff is on the network. But I don't think there's any pay-per-views at all.
Okay.
I believe now again, I don't know because I don't, I'd be curious. I should actually like just create a separate free account, just see what's on it. But like, I think there's a couple of WrestleManias on there. I think,
okay,
if I remember seeing on the press release, I know the press release said something about like over 15,000 pieces of content. Which, I mean, if you have old Raws, I mean that's a lot. That's a lot right there. Like
that's over 1,000.
Yeah. So 15,000 sounds like a lot, but if you have a season of a couple of seasons of Total Divas and a couple of it's the stuff adds up. So
Midnight Heat episodes.
I guess if it's all old shows, I mean, I don't know if that goes back all the way through like the old Superstars and the old like Tuesday Night Titans and stuff like that.
There's still a lot of old stuff that just still hasn't been added to the network yet, too.
That's
what's I am waiting for like the end run of primetime wrestling when it was a studio show with Vince and Heenan and Lord Alfred Hayes, where they kept trying the gimmick of trying to call the Hulk Hogan WrestleMania hotline.
So that's the craziest part about now that looks like Salad Works. Tim, is that Salad Works?
We're trying to do better here, more not just on a moral front but also on a physical front. So your boy has got himself some salad.
Good job,
rabbit foods.
Good work. We've been eating a lot less like meat. Like I know, because like a couple of weeks ago there was like the fear of like the meat shortage. So we're like, all right, let's maybe adjust our eating habits a little bit. So on the advice of Matt, we dipped into the Beyond Meat, and we've done the burgers and the hot Italian sausage, and fantastic. Let me tell you. And they reheat. I'm going to say this. And I agree. My wife said this, and I agree with it. They reheat better than actual meat.
I actually just had the hot Italian sausages tonight. So Beyond Meat, if you're looking for, a podcast that you want to sponsor, we'd be happy to put stuff on a weekly basis. I'll throw on the grill. I'll hook up the computer outside, and you can watch Beyond Burgers during a live episode.
If you're paying us, I will eat all of your not meat. Thank you.
Right? Why not?
I'm not gonna Ron Swanson it where I'm gonna go and take your fake bacon and then immediately throw it in the trash. I will actually eat. I will eat the.
Has anybody ever had fake bacon?
Bacon?
I've never had bacon.
Constant. Yeah, it's good. Morningstar's bacon strips. And Lauren's a big bacon fan, so I make the Morningstar bacon. Again, plug Morningstar. If you're looking for a podcast you'd like to sponsor. But yeah, we do like a breakfast scramble on the weekends where I'll chop that up, throw it in there, put it on the Beyond Burgers. You get a nice vegan bacon burger. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's I was really sure we tried the burgers first, and I promise we will get to NXT Takeover, but
wrestling's canceled. We're a topical podcast now. There's no wrestling going on.
We had the burgers first, and we had 2 regular burgers that we did, like actual meat burgers, and then we had the Beyond Burgers because we're like, okay, there's always a chance that we're not going to enjoy this new product we've never had before. And I would, yeah, like I said, pleasantly surprised. We did I grilled the sausages last night, and we had those for dinner. So yeah, really really good stuff. Again, Beyond Meat, Morningstar, yeah, we'll take a sponsorship whenever you want to throw one out there.
They have meatballs as well that go very well with both spaghetti, and then you have to cook them all at the same time. So a leftover meatball sub then the next day.
Solid.
So a lot of good stuff there.
I do love a meatball sub. All right, so we got of course NXT Takeover this Sunday. 6 matches on the card. We're gonna work top to or bottom to top on the Wikipedia, which I always hate when whoever puts that together doesn't. I guess they put them in the order they're announced, because like to me I would just always put the championship matches at the top. But here we are. We got Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Knox taking on Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez in a 6-woman tag team match. Ryan and I both have Candice, Dakota, and Raquel picking up the win. I feel like they've kind of been working really well as like this evil trio, so to speak, and I like them to keep that momentum going, and so does Ryan apparently. Matt, I will direct traffic.
All right. Yeah, I think those 3, it makes the most sense in terms of what they're trying to do, storylines that they have going on, who they probably want to push the most right away. I love that other team so much. Shotzi Blackheart, one of my favorites. I said that she would be the one that would kind of be the figurehead of NXT in 5 years if it were up to me. But I don't think she's just necessarily there yet. So I think the build on that will be slow. So I think the other team with LeRae at the helm is the one that makes the most sense for them to push forward right now.
Very good. Tim, we'll go to you next.
I'm also going to go the team of Candice LeRae, Raquel Gonzalez, and Dakota Kai. Mainly for the fact that I just think that the way that Candice is working right now with this new character, this is an easy way for a newly acquired heel to find a way to sneak her way into pulling the wool over somebody's eyes and getting the easy Duke. I think this is gonna go a little longer and get some mixed tag action perhaps. And
yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely on the upcoming agenda. Mark, your pick on this match.
Well, count me in with you boys. I'm Team LeRae. I think I see the heels going over. It just makes sense, I think, with the feud, and also I want to mention Shotzi Blackheart, man, one of my favorites. She has been for a while, and it's great to see her in NXT, and she's really going to do some good things.
Yeah, and the bump she took, I think that was last week on NXT. Good to see that she is not injured, because that was a sick bump. I know that kind of blew up on Twitter last week. Here in the comments, Devin is also Team Candice. Yeah, I feel like this one a fairly easy predictor. Then we go to the singles match for the NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee defending against Johnny Gargano. Ryan and I both have Lee retaining his North American title. I don't think there's been enough, and since he won it to now, I don't think enough has happened to warrant a move of that championship. Matt.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it not only that, like he hasn't done enough with that belt yet, in my opinion, and not only that, but I think for Gargano to have that kind of title run at this point would be a little bit of a step backward. I think that Gargano is kind of primed to make the jump relatively soon, so I don't think that putting that type of NXT's version of a mid-tier title on Gargano makes a ton of sense. So I do think this is going to be a hell of a match. I'm really looking forward to it just based on what both of these guys can do in the ring. But at the end of the day, it makes the most sense to keep that belt on Keith Lee for now.
Yeah, Tim, how about you?
I've got Keith Lee by disqualification.
Mm.
I think Gargano's gonna pull away and not necessarily get beaten.
Okay.
Maybe get counted out or some sort of nefarious means. Keith Lee will still walk away your your North American champion, but that's really all that matters. Keith Lee still be North American champion by the end of the night.
Gotcha. Interim Mark, how about you?
Yep, same thing. I see Keith Lee retaining, maybe not necessarily by a pinfall, but he'll leave with the title if it's the DQ. Keith Lee's so good. A few years from now, I can see him in a main event at WrestleMania. He's got so much potential. Same thing with Johnny Gargano. Fantastic. Love watching his matches.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones because I know there was a period of time. Yeah, thank you for lifting the salad there, Tim. It didn't look great, but this is why you got to watch the videos, folks. If you're only catching,
I'm trying to eat over here.
If you're only catching this on the audio side, you're missing some video gold here for even
horrible juxtaposition between the image in the foreground and the work in the background. Like
Salsa
doesn't that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to adequately spread my raspberry vinaigrette across my entire salad, you nasty schmucks.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
That's so good.
But there was a little bit of like Gargano fatigue because it felt like he was kind of having the same match over and over. But when you're in there with a guy like Keith Lee, it gives a different style of match that we should be able to get here out of these two. Devin also has Keith Lee winning here, so another clean one across the board. I'm going to jump up to Finn Balor taking on Damian Priest, a guy that we met back when he was working with the Monster Factory and was with shows at Lancaster at the Host. So it's always awesome to see a guy that we've seen years ago, at this level. Ryan has Balor picking up the win in this one. I'm gonna go with a shocker, and I'm actually gonna go with Priest. I think that they've been trying to do something really special with him, and I think getting a win over Finn Balor can really catapult him in NXT. Matt.
I mean, I do think Finn is in NXT to put over someone at some point that will be a huge shock. I just don't think we're there yet with Priest. I would love to see that. Like you said, we got to call a lot of his stuff, do some interviews with him at LC/KPW. But I don't know that he's necessarily the spot that they use that Finn Balor loss for. If it does happen, that's awesome. I certainly think he has the potential to be someone that you can like launch up with something like that. I just don't see it, and I think Balor gets the win.
All right, very good, Tim.
Finn Balor. Don't really care for the Archer of the Infirmary. Doesn't really do anything for me. There's like 4 other big dudes that do better than him, so I don't care.
Are you upset because he's kind of like what Baron Corbin was in NXT?
No, because Damian Priest wishes he was Baron Corbin at this point. He just
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to be the king?
Bow and arrow fire guy. I don't care. I'm not here for bow and arrow fire guy. Like I'm here for Kang Corbin.
Kang Corbin.
Kang Corbin.
Why
are you trying to make this about Baron Corbin? It's me about talking about Finn Balor, Fergal. Fergie Ferg.
At that point, I mean, he wasn't the king just yet. He can't be.
He was the man. Now he's the king.
Wolf for a little bit.
He was the lone wolf. He was.
And Tim, you're not even really much of a Balor guy either, right?
I'm here for Dropkick Murphy. Like he's here right. He's here right now. I'm living with. I'm happy with where he's at, but I'm not here for these insider shoot promos that he keeps doing, where he's talking about the boys in the back all the time and da. Like, no one cares, man.
Yeah, it's
and you're
weird. Like,
and you're not the Tool Man, Tim Taylor, bathroom match of the night. This might be it. I might just skip it. We better make this first. I'm telling you.
It's really weird. Like wrestling in 2020, weird enough with, empty buildings and stuff like that. But then you got AJ and the Undertaker coming out, him, AJ calling Undertaker Mark and talking about, Michelle, and and then you get the Undertaker documentary, which they're talking about on ESPN, and they're talking about it on the Preston and Steve show on, WMMR's morning show.
Good old Uncle Taker.
And like now you're getting Fergal talking about the boys in the back, and it's just like, man, like as if we didn't know that, it's a show. Like they just kicked that door straight open in 2020.
I have a question for you. This is unrelated, but how do you feel about your favorite sports crossing over, as now we're apparently doing wrestling in a hockey arena? Because there's a lot of plexiglass boards. Has anyone been sent into them? Has there been like
I haven't seen like a
5-minute major
check. We did kind of talk about the plexiglass, and I think we all kind of just came to the agreement that, like, if this is how it's got to be for the eventual return of fans into a WWE crowd, then like it's just got to be that way. Like, I'm used to my favorite sport being, having the fans behind a plexiglass wall. So I can get used to it in my wrestling as well. Hey, I got used to and was fine with WWE with no crowd. So I'm adjusting with it however it's being presented. But it's they like we were talked about last week, they kind of had to like bite the bullet and just kind of deal with they're taking AEW's idea with putting wrestlers in the crowd, but they put their own spin on it. So it is what it is. I'm fine with it. Did we? Yeah, we got all our predictions on this match, right? No,
Mark's.
We did not get yours. Finn Balor or Damian Priest?
Well, I think I see Balor getting the victory. Maybe not necessarily again with a pinfall, but maybe through a DQ. But I would really like to see Priest take it. But I'm going to go with Balor.
All right, so I'm the only one out on Priest Island.
Mark, the plexiglass probably is a welcome change for you, though, right? I mean, it reminds you of the salad bar there at Haas's with the sneeze guard, correct?
That is correct. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Matt, because Haas's is open now for carryout. But I think Ryan would agree. We're not satisfied with just carryout. We want to be inside seated and have full access to that hospitality bar.
Right, because like I've eaten at Haas's a few times, and at no point like have I just gone in there and ordered like a meal. Like I've never gone in and been like, just burger and fries for me tonight. Like it's usually salad bar, and then maybe I'll add a burger. Maybe I'll add like a side of something. It's I go for the salad bar. I don't go for a meal to Haas's.
Hand to God,
I don't think anybody does.
What's that, Matt?
I didn't even know they had like meals there. I've only ever eaten the salad bar, soup and salad. So I mean, if there are meals at Haas's, then I'm impressed.
Yeah, Mark, I think one time cousin Brian told me a story about like the time that he got like gray fish from Haas's, and I'm like, ew. So like,
that's nasty.
I think the only times it's like they had like a sweet chili shrimp for a while that I would get on top of the salad bar, and then like they would have like in the summer the one year they had like a 99-cent burger that you could get with your salad bar. So I was like, okay, I can do a 99-cent burger. That's fine. All right,
let's a really good Oh, if you want to keep talking about hosses, they did
Yeah,
a,
go ahead.
a really nice, a nice meal where you got a fish sandwich during Lent, which was always something I looked forward to because it was a big fish sandwich. It was like $3, and then you got the salad bar add on for a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty tasty. They do nice little add on type things like that, like 99-cent burger, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it coming back.
Some sort of like an appetizer thing or something. But yeah, I when I saw Haas's take, I mean, I immediately thought of you, but I had to chuckle at the same time because it's like I don't see, and again, right now you got to do what you got to do, but I just don't see that being a big popular go-to for people.
I got to put Mark in a pickle really quick.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm ready.
You have to sacrifice Haas's for the rest of 2020. Like, you don't even get the option for carryout or anything. But Hershey Park opens tomorrow. Do you wish
Goodbye
Haas's? Is that what this is?
He's dying up there. He's
That's
laughing.
what it is. You don't
All
have to say anymore. I hate to do it, but
I hate to
Park
see
is
it, but
I hate to see it happen. But hey, if something's got to give, I'll go back to Hershey Park before if I have to sacrifice horses for the year.
There you go.
And with the Hershey Park, you have the meal plan anyway. So at least
right.
until September, October, you could just eat at Hershey Park all the time.
Yeah,
I think
September.
tougher question would have been Roots closes for the rest of 2020.
Oh no!
Park opens.
He's out.
I think he froze. Would you forego? Now that would break your years long streak.
Yeah,
would you end the streak for Hershey Park to open tomorrow?
You know what? At this point, no, I wouldn't end the streak because I think we're getting close to Hershey being open in the next few weeks. I hope.
Okay, there you go.
The streak has to stay alive.
So you'll put Haas's out of business for 7 more months to get a 2-week advance on Hershey Park? You degenerate man, you.
Man, you're doing
you just can't wait to start your running tabulation of how much money you've saved by your Hershey Park experience. This is my 75th day. This means my season's pass was worth 17 cents. I love those. I love those smokes.
I'm gonna stick
I love them though.
I know. I miss those. I miss those. Lou says if Haas is closed forever, he's going to boycott.
We don't want Haas's gone.
No, we don't want it to go away. We're seeing where Mark's loyalty and want for Hershey Park to open.
We're unfortunately trading lives here. We don't trade lives, but if we did,
it's all hypothetical here in 3
we
count.
found out that 7 months of Haas's is less than 2 weeks of Hershey Park.
And I mean, you're already a good way, into the year. We're part way into June now. So you figure it'd be a small sacrifice to get back at Uncle Milton's Park. So let's keep plugging away here through NXT. We're going to jump up to Tommaso Ciampa taking on Karrion Kross, of course, with Scarlett. Ryan and I both have Kross winning here. I think this match should be really, really, really good. I've loved the build to it. I think probably one of the better builds to anything, at least in the empty arena era. And but obviously Kross's first match here in NXT. So yeah, I got to lean Karrion Kross.
Yeah, same for me. Similar reason to Gargano versus Lee. I think this just kind of gives Kross that push that he needs, the new guy in. Ciampa's kind of, we assume anyway, close to being on his way up. So I think at this point he's just gonna kind of do the job for a couple people, get a win here or there to make it credible. But I think this one makes the most sense for Kross to win. Let's just keep Scarlett happy, please.
I agree. Tim, how about you?
I'm going Tommaso Ciampa because I don't really care about Karrion Kross.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Big Jack tattooed entrance guy. Yeah.
dang.
Fall and
Dang.
pray. Team him up with the Archer of the Infirmary. And let's see what those guys. They'll really put some butts in the seats. I think, honestly, though, Karrion Kross is going to win. If anything, Road Dogg kind of tipped his hand on the latest Corey Graves podcast minus Carmella, where Road Dogg was like, I see big things for this guy. He's like 6'4" and he looks great and he does good things. Blah, 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 blah. So, sure. Tattooed, fall and pray. Scarlett's guy.
Scarlett's guy.
I'm here for
Mark,
Scarlett.
Good for her.
That's it. Good for her.
Mark, how about you?
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm going. I'm going with Cross as well. The more we can see of Scarlett, the better. And I think it just makes sense as well. I'm a big Tommaso Ciampa fan, but I'm going to go Cross.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Ciampa ever makes the move to Raw or SmackDown. I know a while back he had said that he pretty much had zero interest in that, but time will tell. I mean, obviously we're still at least months, I would say, away from a traveling touring WWE. So maybe if there's a time to do it, the time is now for Ciampa to move, but we'll see. Let's go to the NXT Women's Championship match, a triple threat. Charlotte defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. Ryan and I both have Io Shirai picking up the win here. I know we talked about how people have had Gargano fatigue. Devin has Cross as well winning that match. I don't know about anybody else. I have Charlotte Flair fatigue because she is literally on every single WWE program that airs. I don't know if she's been on Main Event yet because I haven't watched any Main Event on the award-winning WWE network, but she has been on every of the main three shows. So I definitely have Charlotte fatigue, and I think the best option for all parties involved is to move the NXT Women's title, and I think getting it onto Io Shirai would just be fantastic. So Ryan and I both have Io Shirai.
Before I make my pick, what award did the WWE Network win? You say it every week, and I'm always just kind of curious.
Those award, like I do think they won some sort of award, internet award, streaming award. I'm not exactly sure. I think Tim might be looking that up. But I think I do remember one of the first years of the WWE Network, them winning some sort of award for the some sort of internet service award. I have no idea, to be specific, but yes, Tim.
So as of October 2019, WWE and WWE Network have been recognized for excellence in digital content by the Academy of Interactive and Visual Arts with 14 total awards, including two gold medals and 12 silver medals. This year, they were recognized for the variety of original programming, both on the network and .com. On Day of, which won a gold award, and My Son or Daughter is a WWE Superstar and Chronicle won silver.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else won gold. Doesn't say. Let me see.
But it has won awards.
It has won awards. So yes, they are award winning. And if you needed reference points, just go to WWE.com and just type in WWE Network Awards, and WWE.com has all of the W3 awards listed.
There we go. See, Matt?
Sure.
Now.
I wasn't like saying you're wrong. I was just curious which awards they had won.
Razzies. They might as well be Razzies.
So now we all know, we all learned something today, and we learned some of the awards that the network has won.
Io Shirai.
Thank you, Matt. Tim, who you got?
Well, when the sun is in the moon's face, and I don't know. Charlotte Flair, man. I just don't think it's gonna change unless Charlotte's not losing, but she could lose the belt. So,
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm voting. I'm gonna vote my heart here. Io Shirai. I'm done. Io Shirai.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that there is a 0% chance that Charlotte Flair eats the fall. There's no way that's happening.
Everyone write that in. Charlotte Flair taking the pinfall.
Yeah. So if you fill out a PW scorecard, the question about who takes the fall, definitely use Charlotte Flair. Intern Mark, what do you got?
I'm going to join the crowd there, the majority, I should say, with Io Shirai winning the title. And I agree the same thing. I don't see Charlotte Flair taking the fall. Don't see that happening.
Yeah, she's Charlotte Flair. It's not going to happen. Devin has Ripley picking up the win and getting the NXT women's title. And then the last match here on the card, we have a last chance backlot brawl for the NXT championship. And it's not going to be as good as the Hollywood backlot brawl, but I'll take the last chance backlot brawl. If Velveteen Dream loses, he can no longer challenge for the NXT championship while Adam Cole is still champion. So does Adam Cole defending against the Velveteen Dream. Ryan has Cole retaining, and I actually have Velveteen Dream picking up the win and becoming the new NXT champion. Matt.
I really don't know with this one. This is like the one that I just have zero idea how this finish is going to be, because it makes sense to keep it on Cole. It would make a lot of sense to put it on Dream for a push. So let's just put it on Dream. Something new.
There we go. And even though I'm a undisputed era kind of guy, but I just think that at some point the power shift in NXT has to happen, and with the rumor of more call-ups and things like that, I gotta wonder if the undisputed era might not be part of that. We've also heard there's also been rumors about how much longer Adam Cole will still be with the WWE. I think that's a lot of speculation. I don't think there's a lot of meat on that bone. I really don't. But there's the rumor world is a buzz around between, like I said, between call-ups and potentially Adam Cole signing elsewhere. You could do the math where. But I like that. Tim.
Let me see here. I can see NXT doing something really cheeky and having Velveteen Dream win this last chance backlot brawl, only to then lose the title back to Adam Cole on NXT like on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Especially since WWE is doing this thing that they usually always do. They're talking about the number of days that the person's been champion. That's kind of a telltale sign that the title reign's coming to an end, because they have to tell people, hey, this guy's been champion a long time, like 365 days long. You know how long that is? A year. He can never lose the title then. Look at Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch went 365 and then she had a baby. New Day broke not the Honky Donkey Man. They broke
Demolition,
and they were done. As soon as CM Punk was the longest reigning champion of the modern era, he dropped the belt.
When Miz started, and he would talk about how many days he
Intercontinental
was
champion.
Intercontinental champion.
Yeah,
that
man,
title goes.
It's only like this is it. Like Adam Cole, baby, is gonna lose the title, but he's gonna get it back like relatively soon, because I just don't. To me, the money in Velveteen Dream is in the chase and not as champion. That's it.
Yeah. Intern Mark.
Is your Bebe on board sticker on your truck yet?
Yeah, the magnet. Yeah, it is on the back of the tailgate. Not that the truck really goes anywhere
Did you
right
get
now.
a car seat yet and everything?
Not yet, not yet. You know, you got to give it time, I guess. Intern Mark.
Well, this one's a tough one, but I think I'm gonna go with Adam Cole. Um, I can see both sides, either Dream taking it or Cole hanging on. I think Adam Cole's gonna hang on to it here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Matt that to me this actually probably was one of the harder matches to predict. Um, Devin has the Velveteen Dream picking up the win as well. So again, this one Sunday night, 7 o'clock on the award-winning WWE Network.
So what there was, and I'm trying to remember, like you said that if they didn't use the old In Your House set, like, so that's an automatic. I forget.
Automatic F. Automatic F for me. Okay. Don't give me the logo. Like even the WWE logo at the top of the poster is the old block logo. You're giving me the old fonts, the old color scheme. Like do not dangle this carrot in front of me just to disappoint me with like the same old like screen and setup that you do all the time. Tim, you muted yourself. Unmute yourself, Tim.
I did. I'm unmuted.
Okay, now I hear you. You.
So what if it was like a dynamic background of Vince McMahon's house? So it's a Jumbotron. It's the NXT Tron, but the camera is just set up at One McMahon Way in Greenwich.
One McMahon Way.
And you just see.
I need to get a One McMahon Way sign and just put it here in the background of the studio.
I'm pretty sure that's like I don't know where he lives, obviously, but I'm pretty sure he's done that.
Sure.
Street, yeah.
Yeah. One McMahon Way. And how about that?
D-.
See, already you're changing your rules.
D-. No.
It's not the old set.
No, I will hold steadfast if they don't give me the old set, or at least like if they don't give me a house setup. Like, because I think was it Triple H or Tommaso Ciampa or somebody in an interview this week hinted that it may be like a new take on the old set. Like if it is a house setup, I will be okay. Like, you know, maybe the wood got too much moisture in it up there in the warehouse and it got rotted and they don't have the old set. Like give me a house setup on this one. Otherwise, hard F without a doubt. Like if they just give me a screen and the, you know, you can't do that to me. You just can't. I've
been to enough people.
Yeah, I do enough for you in a year. All right. Speaking of NXT, last night
you can't take any more disappointment.
No, absolutely not. Last night on NXT was the finals of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Drake Maverick fell short of the goal. However, was awarded an NXT contract at the end of the show. So the $1 million question, and we will probably not know until 10 years from now when Bruce and Connie get to actually talk about this on Something to Wrestle With. But was the Drake Maverick release real or not? Like that's like kind of the $1 million question. And you know, there's been speculation about like WWE is going to bring back at least some of the release talent once business starts picking back up. But you know, Drake Maverick, obviously the day of the big release, you know, was it 16 superstars and the producers and all that stuff, you know, posted the video and then, you know, stay tuned to this tournament. I got 3 matches left and this thing has just kind of taken on a life of its own. So like the $1 million question today, and you know, it's people have speculated on both sides. Was he actually ever released? And it was for real, and they just kind of saw that there was value in him with the way people responded, or was his release a work the whole time. Matt, your thoughts?
It's tough to just sit back and say it was a work, because that was a very impassioned speech that he gave. So it kind of takes away from that if it was, just because he had so many people on his side. So part of me just wants it to not be for that reason. And they just saw the passion, they saw the response from the fans, and they were like, hey, we can rectify this situation quicker than others. So let's do the right thing and do that. So I'm choosing to believe that that's the case. Whether that's naive or not, that's just how I want to keep that memory, just because, I mean, we talked about it on the show when that release happened, that video kind of stuck out to all of us as like, this is like the true impact of what's going on. Not just with the virus and people losing their jobs, but like your dream being taken away from you for, an unfortunate circumstance, if that's what you want to call, COVID-19. So I'm going to say it was not, just to keep that little sliver of believability for me as a wrestling fan.
Tim, how about you? Shoot or work?
Can I pick a third option and say classless? Like, okay. I'm getting real surly in my old age, man. If you're gonna use the pandemic and people actually losing their jobs as an angle for your third brand of television, shame on you. If you're going to fire a guy and have him work through his no compete clause, thinking that he's fired, and then you give him a contract afterwards, shame on you. Period. Like, we're talking about people at the end of the day. Like it's in poor taste if it was an angle, and it's like it's really carrot on a sticky if it was, hey, we're gonna fire you, but we saw what the internet did, so yeah, you're worth it, dude. When like everyone else is getting just as much internet buzz being released as Drake Maverick. The Good Brothers rebooted Talking Shop. They're about to create a new whiskey. Cardona and Brian Myers are doing the wrestling figure thing, and they're still getting hot buzz. And Cardona's got the #1 selling shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees of all of them. You've got Rusev. Just everybody's just waiting for Rusev to say anything wrestling related. So instead, he's sitting at home and he's streaming video games like a champ.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's on Twitch. I can't compete. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, all these wrestlers are on Twitch now. Adam Cole's on Twitch. Xavier Woods is on Twitch. Claudio's on Twitch. Rusev's
Alan Jones is on Twitch.
No, he's on Mixer. AJ's on Mixer.
That's right. He's on Mixer.
Yeah, he's on the bootleg Twitch. But it's just good on Drake.
Sure.
That good talent is recognized, and I'm glad that he's got a job. I'm glad that his job was saved, if however it boils down. But at the end of the day, like, for me as a fan, like, I am a WWE fan, but these last couple of months have been really making me question things that I normally didn't question about my favorite wrestling promotion, and should it be anymore? From a actual
wow.
Like an ethical standpoint, like I can excuse certain things, but then all the facts lining up, I'm making it a big rant. Mark, what do you think? Work or shoot?
What do you got, Mark? Work or shoot?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think it's. I really hope it didn't start out as a work. I hope they. Well, not that I like to see him lose a job, but I hope they really did let him go, and then they saw there was value in him, as you talked about. And I kind of remember when Matt Hardy was let go years ago when he had that issue with Lita and Edge were having the affair, and then they kind of brought Matt Hardy back. That maybe something not quite to the same degree, but yeah, I really hope it wasn't an angle they were pulling here. But Drake really, when he was let go, seemed very distraught, very heartfelt messages he was sending out. And then last night when they gave him the contract, I hope he had an idea that maybe they at least said to him, "We'll look into seeing about keeping you on." But that was a very feel good moment last night. So, but all in all, I hope it was not a work.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, you know, I would hope, and you know, even me, the WWE apologist, or however you want to label me, you know, I wouldn't necessarily put it past them to you know, put a shoot angle into this real life situation, but like, man, that would be really, that'd be really kind of messed up if you put one guy in the midst of a laundry list of releases that ends up one of them being not legit. So like I'm hoping that it was a legit release and then they brought him back. Like the only way I could like rectify it a little bit if it was a work is if Drake wasn't, you know, released in that long list the first day, like if he was, you know, a couple of days later or the day before or something like that, that it wasn't with that big group. Like the fact that he was part of that big group that got released that one day, if that turns out to be an angle, that would really, really be unfortunate. Devin says he thinks it was a work. Lou thinks that the release was real. He said it was so emotional, caught wind, and they could not capitalize on bringing him back. So and he said the sad part is this is there will not be an EC3 and Spud reunion in Impact. So yeah, that's a little bummer as well. But like I said, I hope that it was not an angle. Just a couple of news items that we're going to get out of here. Like I said, it is not going to be a full 2-hour show this week. Was announced last week officially on SmackDown that Matt Riddle will be moving to the Blue brand. Who do we think is going to be his first feud or match, however you want to take it? Who do we think is going to be his first opponent, maybe in SmackDown, Matt?
I mean, I think it makes the most sense for him to like beat up a couple jobbers to start off. So that would be his first match or matches.
Maybe his first like feud. Like once he gets a couple of you know, jobbers thrown at him, enhancement talent, if you will. Once he ends up really digging into the roster on SmackDown, who do you think he goes after first?
Well, I mean, like Gulak is still on the roster, right? Like
Gulak's back.
I mean, I could see them having a program that would be like a really good like wrestling program. So that would be my pick if I got to choose. Have him like get inserted into the whole Gulak Daniel Bryan thing that they have going.
Very good. Tim.
Well, I mean, I'm going to agree with you about the jobber. So it's going to be Cesaro.
Oh, yeah.
No offense, but like,
yeah, that's
Cesaro right now. Cesaro's going out there and having the best matches with like everyone that needs a good match. WrestleMania, it was Drew Gulak, and then Money in the Bank, it was Jeff Harvey. And now it's gonna be Matt Riddle, bro, and like they're gonna tear it up. Like, there's no doubt about it, man.
Intern Mark, who do you got?
I was thinking the same thing Matt was with Gulak or Bryan. I would like to see either of those in an angle with it. I think that'd be great, great wrestling matches for sure.
I think it's going to be King Corbin. I
The
think
Kang.
It's he's one of the bigger heels. Devin agrees with me. He's one of the bigger heels in the entire company, maybe the biggest on the SmackDown brand. And
cross, it's a loser goes home match, and we
and like here's the thing, I was never a Corbin guy, even when he was in NXT. I think he's gotten exponentially better, both in character and in the ring since his move to the main roster.
Bald Corbin is a hell of a lot better than receding hairline Corbin. Yes.
Yeah, astronomically. And the King of the Ring, has transformed him character wise, and I think it would be a great launching point for Matt Riddle in SmackDown. Obviously, once he works through a little bit of enhancement talent, just to make him look legit to the larger WWE audience. We have seen over the last, obviously last week, Kurt Angle, who was released on the April 15th list of releases, and it was believed that he was only brought back for last week's NXT, the Fight Pit, where he was the referee, but he was also seen on SmackDown to announce Matt Riddle's move to the brand. Paul Davis of WrestlingNews.co indicates that Angle will be staying with the company, saying if they haven't signed him already, they will make an offer to him soon. Vince McMahon does not want to lose him to AEW. While Angle won't be wrestling, the reports suggest he will be happy with a backstage role, similar contract to what he had before. I think there was confusion even on my part with just exactly Angle's status, because I know he had been working as a producer, and a lot of the producers were furloughed, not actually released, but I know the WWE had said they released Kurt Angle. So I don't know if that was like just the performer side of Kurt. I think that I was confused exactly with Kurt Angle's status, but yeah, it does kind of appear that he'll remain with the company. So I'm cool with that. Kurt's solid and I think can help out backstage. This piece of news that I saw, and I noticed it when I saw the trailer, the teaser. Impact Wrestling on this week's Impact on Access, they aired a video to tease the Slammiversary pay-per-view that take place Saturday, July the 18th. The video starts out with someone in a hood pouring a drink into a glass while watching a reporter break the news that about over 20 superstars that were released from their contract. The video showed brief clips of Eric Young, the Bulgarian Flag, which of course is a reference to Rusev, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Rockstar Spud, Kurt Hawkins, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, and EC3. These wrestlers, of course, under the 90-day no-compete agreements with WWE, so they can't legally negotiate with another company. But they would all come up. The release date was April 15th, so they would be eligible for Impact Slammiversary. Obviously, I don't envision all 20 of them or 19, because we know Drake Maverick is still in the WWE fold. But is there somebody out of those that were teased? Eric Young, Rusev, the Good Brothers, Kurt Hawkins, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, EC3. Is there any of those that you would like to see end up in Impact? Matt, we'll go to you first.
I mean, EC3 had his thing already, so to see him return, I think would make the most sense. So of all of them, that would be the one that I would choose to make that happen.
Tim, how about you?
So my choice is actually the hooded guy. I think the hooded guy is someone.
Okay.
And I think the hooded guy is actually the aforementioned Kurt Angle.
Really? Oh, yeah, because he did do the hooded jacket entrance gear when he was in Impact.
Uh-huh.
That would be an interesting twist.
Like I really hope it's Kurt Angle.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
From
But
that
either
part.
way, like I think it'd be cool to see EC3 go back and Eric Young go back, and even seeing Mike and Maria go back. I don't think it's the right spot for everyone who's released, but I think it's the perfect spot for some of them.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's the perfect spot for the Good Brothers, for example. I think that they would be much better fit in AEW or going back to Japan, which I think is probably the more likely of scenarios that they end up back in Japan. I do look forward to, it might even be that same date, July 18th, when they're or July 15th or something like that, when they're talking shop about their end of the WWE situation comes out. That is going to be such a good listen, because they've dropped a few hints about like how, you know, re-signing was the worst decision they ever made and stuff like that. So I am very, very curious. I might even subscribe to their Patreon to like hear the lead in to that episode. So Mark, who do you, out of these potential Impact, you know, new Impact superstars?
Well, I'll tell you what, same thing. I can see almost all of them going over there. Aside from the Good Brothers, I don't see them necessarily ending up there. Maybe for a one-off. But EC3 and Eric Young, I think it'd be nice to get them back to their home. Both of them, I thought, had so much potential when they were in NXT, and just didn't really translate to the main roster, which happens quite a bit. I'd like to see some of them end up in the NWA as well, maybe for a short period of time. But every one of them, I'd be very happy to see pop up in NWA or Impact at this point.
Yeah, out of these, I mean, EC3 is the easy one. You know, I think it could be interesting what they could do with Rusev, but when you lose Brian Cage, you lose some of your bigger talent. I kind of struggle with what role Rusev would play in Impact Wrestling at this point. I'd rather see him end up in AEW as well. But yeah, I'm going to be paying attention to this as it leads up towards that, and like this may almost be enough to get me to buy and watch the Impact pay-per-view. So they definitely have my attention with this one. Just a couple of more things here. We saw this past Monday Gronk dropping the 24/7 title to back to R-Truth, and it is believed and reported that Gronk is no longer under contract with the WWE. He had a release in his contract where if he went back to the NFL, there was an out in his contract. So it appears that Gronk is no longer part of the WWE or their plans. So, and even there was a match that was in the works for SummerSlam in Boston that obviously no longer is the case as well. But there was also some reports this week that the locker room was not a big fan of Rob Gronkowski. That most Raw superstars didn't have to deal with him around WrestleMania because he was more of a SmackDown guy. It was noted, this was from Fightful.com, that those in the company they spoke with, quote, even those with a reputation of being easy, helpful, and good to work with, all had negative things to say about working with Gronk after his WrestleMania fiasco. There was a scheduled spot, which was him jumping off of the platform. It was reportedly a 2-hour, put the WrestleMania filming 2 hours behind schedule because he didn't want to do it. Vince eventually talked him into it. It was mentioned that one top name called Gronk a fucking clown who we are so much better off without. So now Gronk cannot work with any other wrestling company for whatever terms his contract with WWE was, but obviously with him going back to the NFL, it seems unlikely that he would do that anyway. But it would appear, based on perception at least, that we will not see Rob Gronkowski back with the WWE at any point in the future.
Can't say that news disappoints me in the least. I'm just sorry, Jim, that you didn't get to watch Gronk while using your Gronk shaker and wearing your Gronk muscle T-shirt.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. It really, and like I feel like, and I understand, with the pandemic and things like that, you don't want to get more people involved in storyline and different things than you necessarily have to. But like, I feel like you missed what could have been like a cool opportunity, for R-Truth to be trying to like sneak up behind Gronk while he's working out or something like that. And as we get close to the NFL season, a little cross promotion there. But yeah, I'm not going to miss him either. Glad R-Truth is once again the 24/7 champion. Last week, AEW scored another win over NXT with the ratings. We talked about that last week, but it was noted that they actually lost viewers during the Mike Tyson Chris Jericho segment at the end of the show, down to 822,000 from the peak of 869, which was the Battle Royal. While it lost viewers for AEW on TV, the segment has been getting a lot of attention on YouTube. Has already crossed over 3 million views and continuing to grow. I think the reason they probably lost viewers live is because you had the fight pit, and I saw a lot of people talking about the fight pit. I just thought it was an interesting note because, like, I think part of AEW's idea is you steal the viewers at the end of the night, because you had advertised Mike Tyson's going to be on the show, and then they actually had fell. AEW had won every quarter hour of last week, except for the quarter hour, which featured Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green versus Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. So that one it just caught my interest again. When you talk about ratings, as we've said before, you have to account live, replay, DVR, YouTube, social media, all that kind of stuff. And obviously this did for AEW because, again, that was something that was getting talked about ESPN, Fox Sports, things like that. When you have Mike Tyson, it's going to give you the attention. And then the last thing I have here, during a recent episode of Talk is Jericho, Kurt Hawkins spoke about where his losing streak gimmick came up with. He admitted the whole thing started organically. He said some dirt sheet reporter it's something like Kurt Hawkins loses 100th consecutive match in a row. And he was getting tweeted and things like that. And he was actually supposed to beat Heath Slater on an episode of Superstars or something. And he said he went to a writer and made him go to Vince and be like, tell him not to. It was at Barclays. And here's probably the biggest shocker of the whole thing. Vince was going to give a guy a win in his hometown. And Hawkins is like, no. Let this winning streak go. And he said, let's just see where it goes. And it finally picked up steam, and people had paid more attention to his matches than they ever did before, whether he was in Long Island or Paducah or wherever. He was losing all the time, and it got attention. Of course, he ended up breaking the streak, but he was part of the tag team with Zack Ryder. Devin, have a good night, bud. Have a safe week. Take care. But I just thought that was an interesting little story about how, organically out of nowhere, the losing streak started.
Do you own that T-shirt, Jim? The Hawkins with like the tally marks?
I do not. I feel like I may have just opened myself up to a Christmas present, but I do not own that shirt.
I don't even know if you can buy that shirt anymore.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm looking.
I haven't looked at the clearance rack in a while because there hasn't been a extra percentage off clearance sale on the WWE shop in a while.
Right. I mean, that just seems like the kind of shirt that you would have randomly just picked up on like a $5 Friday and just like.
Another thing they haven't done in a while is a $5 Friday.
They did do like the 5, 10, 15 a couple weeks ago because I almost bought my daughter the $15 Huskus plush toy and then just did not pull the trigger on that. But it has been a while since they've even done that. And I'm certainly not paying $30 for a Huskus.
Yeah. Frank says, yeah, that's not really what makes wrestling good and fun. Let's see how many matches a guy can lose in a row. I mean, I found it to be kind of good and funny, and apparently Hawkins did too, since he asked for it to keep going. I mean, there's a winner and a loser, and it's a pre-written show. Lou says Hawkins needs a freelance on the indies and go on another losing streak. He'd pay to see it. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of tough, but I mean, it's marketability if that's how people remember. Frank said it's a failure on WWE's part that the fans are paying more attention to an individual's losing streak than any of the feuds match. Okay, I don't think that people were paying more attention to Hawkins' losing streak than, say, like the WWE title feud. But like when you have a 3-hour show, because I think he was on Raw, when you have a 3-hour show, if on one of the quarter hours or one of the half hours, you are attached to this losing streak that's now picking up how many losses in a row. Like it's entertainment, like, and tell me what other Kurt Hawkins matches or time on TV that you love and remember from his time in WWE. I implore anyone. But really, I got nothing else. I don't know if anybody else
Really, I know they're just shitting on Kurt Hawkins.
Well, no, but I mean, whether you can argue that he was maybe not, he wasn't used properly or to his level, that's a different discussion on its own. But the losing streak, that angle, I think people found to be entertaining once it started to pick up steam. Like the angle in and of itself, I think that, again, it wasn't the most like, I didn't tune into Raw every week to go, all right, what match is Hawkins on? Is this going to be the week that he wins? But like, when Hawkins had a match, it's like, okay, well, he's had 110 losses in a row. Let's see if he can lose another one. I found it to be mildly entertaining.
I mean, that's all fine, but then you implored everyone to think of anything that Kurt Hawkins ever did that they enjoyed.
Well, right, but I mean,
there was that one time he was Edge.
That's true.
Frank says, but that's what's notable about Hawkins, that he had a long losing streak. That's all that made him interesting. And in this current time that he was with the WWE, yeah. So, like, whether or not he could have been used differently and better, that can be another discussion. But like looking at the losing streak angle, because that's the part that he discussed with Jericho, like that was, to me, that was entertaining. So like, is Kurt Hawkins better than a 130 match long losing streak? I think he's a better wrestler than that. However, as we all know, and we've discussed for years on this show, with WWE, it's not just about wrestling. It's sports entertainment. So like, you could be the best wrestler in the world and it might not necessarily get you anywhere in the WWE. It's about necessarily finding the hook. And I think Lou hits it right on the head here. He says he got TV time, and if you have a story in WWE, you're winning. Like, for this situation, he turned it into something marketable, because it could have just been, oh, hey, Hawkins had 100 straight losses, as like he said, as some dirt sheet guy picked up on, and he turned it into a storyline on TV and merchandise that people bought, and he turned it into an eventually, and him and Ryder ended up getting the tag team titles. I highly doubt that Hawkins and Ryder end up as tag team champions, albeit as forgettable of a run as it was, but they won them at WrestleMania in New York. I have a hard time believing that Hawkins and Ryder are winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania without this losing streak angle. So,
a quick question then on the merch, because I am curious, is there anyone on like the main roster at this point that does not have their own shirt?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good
Buddy
question.
Murphy? But didn't he have one with Blake and Murphy? I think that Blake and Murphy had a shirt.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know we were talking like last week or the week before of how like and please play the merchandising after this, but just how much more of a role that's playing right now. Because back in the day, like I mean, I can't remember ever seeing a Bob Holly shirt, stuff like that. But now it seems like everyone just has merch. So is there anyone that does not?
Akira Tozawa.
Merchandising.
I'm looking around still. Oh, these aren't in
There
alphabet.
may have been Sparky Plug merchandise way back at the beginning.
It's tough because it's not quite in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
kinda.
that's a tough one. That'd be something to look into. And Frank
Yeah.
says more railing on WWE's creative, not Hawkins jobbing for a year, isn't particularly creative. Well, when you have a roster that is admittedly too large, it's hard to find something creative for every single one of them. And Hawkins found a way to make that creative for himself. So, in a way, it worked. Like, I mean, and I know it's not the best answer because and now WWE's roster is smaller than it was before, right, wrong, or indifferent. But when you have a roster that's too large, so there will definitely be people that don't end up on TV and don't end up in angles and don't end up having merch that's marketable and things like that. But I think it was good on Hawkins to find a way to make himself marketable and get the
merchandising
out of it that he did. But I have nothing else for the week. I don't know if anybody else does. If not, Matt, why don't you lead off the giving your social media plugs, and we're going to bounce out of here.
Yep, you can follow me at Twitter at 3CT, the letter A, Philly as in Philadelphia, the number 8, so 3CT affiliate. If you follow us on Instagram, you know there is no Woman of the Week this week. We are still just kind of taking a break, letting everything that's going on kind of take front and center. It would be pretty foolish of us to just kind of post as if things right now are going on as normal, because they're not. So take some time this week. Like we said in our post, listen, take in what's going on, do what you can. Try to be back next week. We'll see what's going on. But we'll see. In the meantime, on YouTube, I'm trying to do one a day. We'll see. It all depends on how interested the wrestlers are in doing this. But since last Friday, there has been a new Wrestler Mad Libs on the YouTube page, so make sure you're checking that out. Most recent one dropped today was with Valentina from CZW, so give that a watch. There's 6 other ones as well. Like I said, Sunday will be the infamous 90 Day Fiance episode on the YouTube page that Mark recorded last week. I'll let him talk about that a little bit, but just stay safe out there. Speak up if you can. Speak up if you feel like you need to or you should.
Absolutely. Mark, let people know where they can follow you and all that stuff.
Hey, I'm on the Twitter, 3 Count Intern Mark. You can find me there. I tweet every once in a while. Maybe I'll try to go in there and tweet a little more about the 90 Day Fiance, which airs Sunday and Monday on the TLC channel. But get ready for that big interview. And those 2.5 hours just flew by. We had a great time. And kind of like what Matt said at the beginning, if you don't really follow the show, I tried to explain it. And as we went, I tried to be a little more descriptive for the folks that may not sure what the show was about or some of the characters. But it was we had a really good time with that. I hope we can do something like that again.
Yeah, I can't promise that I will watch the whole episode, the whole 2 hours or what have you, but I will definitely check it out because I am intrigued by this one. Mark, Tim, where can people follow you at?
Don't follow me this week.
Okay.
Don't educate yourselves. Do some research. Look up what all the hullabaloo is going on. If you've got your head, if you've had your head in the sand, please pull it out. If you listen to one piece of media, and this is the wrestling crossover, please listen to a well-spoken 8-minute video from who the wrestling population would love to be president of the United States, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Please listen and watch the 8-minute video that The Rock did on what's going on right now. If that's the only thing that you watch or listen to in regards to everything that's gone on since Memorial Day, and then that's just the most recent, like that alone should kickstart you into doing something else. Like, educate. If you can't get out, or you don't, if you don't wish to get out, or you can't get out to peacefully protest or anything like that, look into possibly giving charitably to an organization. I know I've been doing research over the last 3 days, trying to find the right nonprofit organization to donate to. I think I found one or two that I'm going to donate to. But even though the hashtag reads Black Lives Matter, it's not just a Black Lives problem. It's a everyone problem. And that's the problem, is that people see who it's impacting and they immediately go, that's not me, so I don't care. Or, oh, that sucks, but it just sucks. And we're getting past the point of it just sucking, and it's got to stop. There's Venn diagrams everywhere where people are like in the middle and saying where things are, but it's like, crazily, one of the best people who said anything about this matter is Randy Orton, who has apparently come full circle, and he adequately and rightfully described and kind of laid it out for everyone who says all lives matter. They do, but until Black Lives Matter, they can't.
Right.
So remember that. It's not saying that all lives don't matter, but Black lives have to matter in order to make all lives matter. And that's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to add anything onto that. The exception of our website, 3countthursday.com. Like you know where you can find everything relating to us. But I'm not going to add anything. I think, Tim, you hit that really well. So that's where we're going to leave for the week. We will be back here next week. We'll be back here live. We hope you have a nice, safe weekend. But again, it's time for action. It is time for action. It is time to educate, and we will talk to you next week. Stay safe, guys.